Yo, what's going on, y'all? My name is Alex, and let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. After winning the NBA Finals last year, after all of the doubts of if they could do it again, those doubts seem to have found their way back. The Warriors are currently a 6th seed, just above 500 with a record of 34-33, and while they have looked very similar to last year when playing at home, they have looked like some of the worst teams in the NBA like the Hornets or Pistons on the road. So what's been their main problem this year? Will they solve those issues? Can they make it back to the finals despite these problems? Let's talk about it. Before we start though, if you do end up enjoying this video, make sure to like and sub. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so it would mean a lot. Anyways, let's get started. One of the first things that sticks out to me about the Warriors' struggles this year is injuries. Curry has only played 41 out of the 67 games at the time I'm recording, and Wiggins as well has only played 37. This is a lot of production being lost, and when that happens, as I'm sure all of us know, it's very hard to maintain success when people are in and out of the lineup. Surprisingly though, the Warriors have actually stayed afloat with a 14-12 record when Curry is not playing. So why haven't the Warriors been able to capitalize more when Curry and Wiggins is actually playing? Well, their defense has fallen off a cliff. Again, when they're at home, they are peak Warriors. They rank 4th amongst teams who play at home in half-court defensive rating, holding their opponents to an average of 93.5 points per game. When they hit the road, they rank 28th among road teams and give up an average of 104.8 points a game, and they look like they're tanking for Victor Wembanyama. I would attribute some of this drop-off in defense to Draymond Green, who I think has digressed a little bit as a defender, but he is still very good, and Klay Thompson as well, but they aren't the only reason. Wiggins again has missed a lot of time, and he was a crucial defender in the playoffs last year, so missing him has hurt. During last offseason, the Warriors also lost Gary Payton II and Otto Porter Jr., who were some great bench pieces who could fit in offensively and also bring a lot of defensive versatility, so I think that has played a part as well. GP2 did end up coming back through trade though, but he hasn't played yet and probably won't play this season due to injury. However, Donte DiVincenzo has been a solid replacement to him in his absence. But while guys like DiVincenzo, Draymond, Klay, and even Kevon Looney are solid defensively, they just have not been enough to give the Warriors the defensive identity they have had in all of their championship runs. The Warriors bench has also been pretty bad. I think coming into this season, the Warriors were hoping guys like Kuminga, Moody, and Wiseman would help fill in the shoes of guys like Otto Porter and Gary Payton, but they just haven't proven to be ready yet. Wiseman was traded to the Pistons that ultimately saw the Warriors get back Gary Payton. Moody doesn't see any consistent playing time, and while Kuminga has been the better young guy out of the three, I still think his lack of a consistent jump shot will hinder his playing time a bit come playoffs, even though he has been pretty decent off the bench this regular season. Because of this, Coach Kerr has actually tried to go with a more experienced lineup, even though these guys really haven't been in the league for that long, with guys like Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb. And while I guess they have played decent in their bench role as well, they just don't come close to the bench players they had last year. Lastly, Jordan Poole has also digressed from the player he was last year. I touched on this in my overrated players video, but sure, he's averaging 20 points per game, but his efficiency has noticeably dropped, and his decision making as well has been worse. He's averaging 3.2 turnovers a game, and his decision making is more than just him throwing bad passes or mishandling the ball. His shot selection has been a huge problem. Now that we've identified some of the problems the Warriors have kind of been facing this season, let's see if they're going to be able to fix them come playoff time. First off, I don't really think you can improve the bench roster because there really isn't that many great free agents who I think will make a strong impact for them, especially in the playoffs. And obviously GP2 is a great addition to get back, but again, he probably won't be playing for the rest of the season and even into the playoffs, so I think that's off the table. Secondly, Steph Curry just came back from his injury, and Wiggins actually is out right now, but it's not due to injury, it's for personal reasons, so he should be back as well. So as long as those guys can come back and stay healthy and bring some continuity, and then Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all those other guys can stay healthy, I actually think that should be okay come playoff time. Lastly, I also think that the defense could potentially be fixed, especially on the road, but it would pretty much have to happen right now because there's only 15 games left in the season, and if you ask me, I think that's a really big ask. So yes, I do think it could happen, but it is a very long shot. I know it's the Warriors, and they've been one of the best teams in the past decade virtually, and obviously they just won the chip last year. But if they're going to be this bad on defense, and their bench is going to be awful, and they're also not going to be a great road team, I just find it very hard to believe that they'll be able to change all of a sudden, so that when they come to the playoffs, they're back to what they looked like last year. With how close the West is, there is a chance that they don't even have home court advantage in any series, so how will they be able to win a series against a team that's equal to them in a 7-game series unless injuries to the other team are in play? Sure, they would definitely be a tough matchup for anyone because the starting 5 of Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney is tough to beat, and it matches up with virtually everyone. But at a certain point, we have to look at the trend of this season, and while the starting 5 again has been good, and Klay Thompson has seemed to return to his former self, at least shooting wise, even with a healthy roster, they have just been mediocre. If you believe the Warriors could still be a contender, I believe you are making these judgments on false hope. Yes, the Warriors the past years have shown us that when they're healthy, they are a championship team. But they haven't even come close to being what those past Warrior teams were able to accomplish, and I don't think there's enough time to change that. Well, those are my thoughts on the Warriors this season and coming into the playoffs and what I kind of expect from them. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think down below. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and sub. Check out my socials down below in the description, and you can check out this video somewhere on the screen where I react to Kendrick Perkins calling Jokic a stat pattern. Anyways, see you on the next one. Peace out.